I haven't seen enough to warrant that. I know the market was going to dictate he was going to be one of the highest paid players in the league. I don't know. Here's the thing. We know the Niners were hesitant to put him in. And I joked about the reason they didn't want to put him in after trading him wasn't because he didn't know Kyle Shanahan's offense. It was because they were afraid he was going to ball out over a few games.
Something like this could happen.
And all of a sudden, what would be 5 years, $100 million, would turn into 5 years, $125 million. What did happen was they weren't planning to play him, at least not with 6 weeks left in the year. C.J. Beathard gets hurt. He comes in that game, throws a touchdown pass instantly. They lost that game, but he only threw 2 passes. And then after he got the offense moving in that game, they started him the following week, and they have not lost a game since then. I think that 5-0 probably earned him an additional $15 to $20 million. He was going to get top 5 quarterback money either way. They wouldn't have traded for him if they weren't prepared to give him that money. I do not think he was going to get highest paid player in league history money without that last month and a half of the year, CC.
And that's just because of the timing of it. It's also timing and where he went. He went to a team that is in desperate need, not only from a team standpoint, but from a franchise standpoint. They need a big name to be able to sell to the San Francisco fans since they lost Jim Harbaugh. Like, they need that. So the need is there. The timing is there. This is a team that I think they have $100 million under the salary cap they have available to spend. So they need a quarterback. They got plenty of money. And then they traded for him. So you knew that they were going to pay him at least $25 million. In the NFL, highest paid does not mean the best. And if you can look at it that way, you can accept this and accept the timing and realize that, man, Jimmy Grappolo, when they traded him, there was such a need that he was going to be in one of the top 3 highest paid because of the timing of it.
Before we talk about what this means for other quarterbacks, let me just ask a question real quick. What if he had played really poorly? We're talking about if he had played great, which he did, or didn't play. What if he came out there and played really poorly?
He still would have got at least the franchise number, so he would have been at least 23 to 25 million, regardless, because they traded for him. They already had the built-in excuse for him playing bad. All right? That it's a new offense. It's the most complicated. Matter of fact, that's one reason why I put it out there. Just in case he did play bad, then you have something to fall back on.
Right.
Because I know Kyle Shanahan. I know how Matt Ryan struggled with it, struggled with the verbiage. After having success in another offense, ultimately got it, led them to the Super Bowl last year. But it's a mouthful. It's a lot of words, and it's very, very different than what they run in New England.
And then the question is, what does this mean for a guy such as Kirk Cousins, who's a free agent right now? Drew Brees is a free agent right now. Matt Ryan will be a free agent in 1 year. Right. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers will be a free agent in 2 years. By the way, earlier in the show, the Boston Herald, Ron Borges had written a column saying after Tom Brady saw this, he's threatening to sit out OTAs until his contract matches it. Since we've been on the air, the Boston Herald, it appears, has retracted that story. Looks like Ron Borges might have been hoaxed. So since we discussed that column, I just wanted to let the audience know. Looks like that column was what they call actual fake news. So my apologies on that one, but we were reading the paper, so I wanted to let the audience know. But I do think Brady and Rodgers and the other great quarterbacks will see if the new market's 28 to 30 million.
I mean, they have the same agent.
Donnie.
Yeah, so you look, the information, I mean, Tom Brady, I'm sure, just like all of us, is like, wow. So that's what they're going for now. Right. After 500 yards in his eighth Super Bowl, like, even though the article might have been a hoax, but Tom Brady got to be checking himself.
Sure.
Like, if I'm going to stay out there, I'm only going to stay out there for $14 million.
Half of what?
We had to know this was coming down the pipe when Matthew Stafford got the deal that he got.
Stafford, 5 years, 135, 27 million per. This one beats that by $500,000 per year, and the guarantees are higher. 74 million guaranteed. Last one, I'm very curious how they do this contract because they have so much cap space available right now. They could front load it a little more than you typically do, so it doesn't balloon on them the way the Joe Flacco deal has ballooned on the Baltimore Ravens.
Right. Go ahead and say it. You'd really like to see a team.
I'd love to see a team. I'd love to see a team have this contract with $50 million in year one. And that way, all of a sudden, when he's hitting his full prime, he's actually at a lower number. I'd love to see a team actually do that. The Niners could do it. I don't think they will. I'd love to see John Lynch, just an idea. If you haven't put pen to paper yet, maybe have balloon payment in year 1, have it go down instead of go up. Just an idea. Thank you, CC.
Back to the NBA. It is
I told you you can get a few receivers for $20 million. We can't give them all that money up front.
Celtics